Question 12. This is about DNA, and I've got two DNA strands with complementary bases here. Draw all the hydrogen bonds between the complementary strands shown in figure 4. Use dashed lines to show the hydrogen bonds. Well, I've taken a section here from the data book, and what you should do is you should draw lone pairs on every single O and lone pairs on every single N, and then any NH's you should make as polar bonds with a delta plus on the H and a delta minus on the N. And then the lone pairs from this O will bond to the delta plus of that N, and then you go round clockwise. The delta plus here on the H will bond round to the lone pair on the N here, and then the lone pair on the O will bond to the delta plus on that H. So lone pairs on O's and N's bond to delta pluses on the H, and you'll form 3 hydrogen bonds then between guanine and cytosine, and then the same for thymine. Lone pairs on single O's will bond to the delta plus on H's of NH2s, and then similarly NH here, the delta plus on the H will bond to the lone pair on the N. And then you can match up here, you can check what's what. 2 N's with a double bond O, 2 N's with a double bond O. This bond here, bonding to the 2-deoxyribose, by the way, is this blue one coming down from the NH. So I've got a blue one going to an N, double bond O, NH. I've got thymine here, so I've got NH, double bond O, NH. This one's thymine, and this one therefore that must be bonding to it is adenine. And here I've got an NH bonding to an N double bond O with an NH2. NH, NHO, NH2. This one here is cytosine, and therefore it must be bonding to guanine. And I can identify where these bonds are going to. I think I can probably guess here that I've got 1, 2, 3 there between guanine and cytosine here. So I'm going to draw lone pairs on the O's, lone pairs on the single N's and on the single O's, and delta pluses on the H's of the NH's, and then put dotted lines between them. And similarly here, lone pairs should be on the N, delta pluses on the H's of the NH's, and put dotted lines for the intermolecular hydrogen bonds. Draw a ring round each of the component parts make up the cytosine nucleotide. Well, we decided that this one was cytosine. Let's just check again. Cytosine with an NH bonding to the 2-deoxyribose, and then double bond O, N, NH2, double bond O, N, NH2. Yes, this one's cytosine. So parts of a nucleotide are the base itself, the 2-deoxyribose, and the phosphate. So the base, the 2-deoxyribose, and the phosphate make up a nucleotide, a section of the DNA strand. State the meaning of the term complementary when it's used to refer to DNA strands. It basically means that the 2 bases are complementary. Adenine bonds to thymine and cytosine bonds to guanine.